Well, I've been doing jobs all day with a plan of getting out for a bike ride this evening. I'm just about to go and it started raining. But wasn't on the forecast, not even on the rain radar. So I'm going for a bike ride anyway. So I've planned myself a nice little 20 miler with a McDonald's coffee in the middle. And I don't think it's going to rain much. I don't think it's going to rain all the way. So I'm going anyway. It's not cold. It's a lovely evening. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to all of the new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. This evening's video is just a nice little 10 miles out, 10 miles back to McDonald's for a cup of coffee. So this will be a little bit of an update and a little bit of a catch up for the new subscribers. So I'm on the Specialized Venge. I have switched it from a 1x to a 2x, partly so I can get more range of gears, but also to get my power meter on there. So I want to do lots more riding over the next, well, God knows how long, whilst my hip still messes about. And I do like to do my riding to power, so I've put 2x SRAM red chain set on the bike and my quad power meter. I must say I'm absolutely loving these little aero bars on the Venge. They're fantastic. It gives you a nice sort of change of hand position, get yourself down, get a bit aero, a little bit of time trial, but when you want, you've got full road bike setup as well. Absolutely love them. What a great idea. So it's 10 miles to my nearest McDonald's, Starbucks. Starbucks will be closed unfortunately, so it'll have to be a McDonald's coffee. But that should give me time for a quick catch up and an introduction for all of the new subscribers. Thank you for following my channel. So I'm a marathon runner mainly, and a bike nutter. I love building bikes, tinkering with bikes, riding bikes. I've been running 25 years this year. I started in the year 2000 and I've run 3 to 4 times, 5 times, 6 times every single week since the beginning of the year 2000. And I'm also training for my 25th marathon this year. So I've done London 6 times, Valencia 3 times, New York, Berlin, Tokyo. The only one I've not done yet is Chicago. But I did compete World Age Group Championships in triathlon in Chicago in 2015, 10 years ago. And so I'm hoping to get there to round off the World Majors sometime soon. But like any 54-year-olds, my joints are getting a little bit unhappy and grindy. I've got a bit of arthritis in a hip, but we keep going. We still strangely think I can get faster. First marathon, 2007, I did 5 hours 45. It was horrible. Got halfway in 2 hours. Second half took me 3:45. PB now is down to 3:15, which I did in 2019, just before lockdown. That was my best year. I PB'd at every distance 2019, and it's kind of slippery slope downhill from there. Look at these grey clouds. I'm risking a little bit, but the weather app says no rain whatsoever, not even a sniff. So we'll give it a go. So before I started running in the year 2000, I'd been a smoker for 10 years. Aged 20 to 30, I smoked. I had asthma, bronchitis, my lungs a little bit scarred, but I eventually gave up smoking because our first child was due, and I've been an addict to the endurance sports lifestyle ever since. 24 marathons, 3 Ironman races, from 11:45 down to 10:26. Again, that was 2019, but just addicted to all this swim, bike, run stuff. So going back to pre-lockdown times, I was in a local running club. I was club captain for about 5 years. I got bullied out of the running club by the then welfare officer of all things. We moved on, lockdown happened, we were training in small groups, and I decided, with the help of some friends, to set up a little running club for our own town. So we now have Halston Running Club, which we absolutely love. I'm head coach there because I've been a running coach for about 15 years, but we've got about 70 members. Yeah, and we're growing all the time. So Halston Running Club, based down here in South Norfolk, a very friendly, welcoming club that we are incredibly proud of. We've got very cool kit as well. Also around that time, I started Halston Magpies Parkrun. I'd done about 100 parkruns over at Galston on the Suffolk coast, Norfolk coast, I don't know. It's about 45 minutes away. I needed something closer. That was about the closest parkrun, to be honest. So 195 weeks of parkrun later, we have Halston Magpies Parkrun approaching its 200th event. I guess 2023 was my busiest year out of lockdown. I started off with Boston Marathon in the US, where I ran 3:32, and then 6 days later I did London with a guy I was coaching, and I paced him to 4 hours. I think I crossed the line 4:10. I stuck with him till about 18 miles and said, you carry on, I'm going to ease off a little bit. 6 days, including some flight delays, wasn't really enough to recover. I also did New York Marathon, pacing him again to 4 hours. I did Copenhagen, Ironman Copenhagen in the summer, which was awful for many reasons. And then I finished off the year with 3:28, I think, at Valencia Marathon. So it was a 4 marathons and an Ironman that year. 2024, I started off with Tokyo Marathon, pacing duties again. We did 3:40 or 3:45, I can't remember. And then I decided from then on that my races were going to ease off a little bit I've done too many marathons in succession. I would ease off the races because, as we've just done 3 or 4 months ago, we've moved house. We bought an old property that's going to take a lot of my time, but my one goal for the year is Valencia Marathon at the end of the year, December 2025. I was wanting to go for a PB, sub 3:15, maybe as a qualifier for Chicago, but this unexpected arthritis in my hip has kind of scuppered that a little bit, but I'll keep training as long as I get around. The plan was always to do my 25th marathon and then start doing ultras, so we'll see what happens there. But in the meantime, I've got an old Victorian schoolhouse to renovate that's keeping me very, very busy. Now, part of the idea of buying this Victorian schoolhouse that we've bought, we've absolutely stretched our budget to the absolute limit. In fact, probably beyond our limit. But what I wanted to do was generate a bit of a side hustle, a bit of side income. And so this lovely old Victorian schoolhouse, which doesn't need masses of work, has got the old toilet block in the gardens, which we're currently converting into a little Airbnb, tiny home, rental, whatever you like, for one or two people. The location is incredible. It's nestled in South Norfolk countryside. It's ridiculous, it's so beautiful. And we want to not only list it on Airbnb, but also offer it for guided runs, guided cycle rides, a bit of exploring, maybe even training weekends. And so I thought maybe some people might fancy a one-to-one coaching weekend, bike and run, open water swimming, that sort of thing. So we're going to offer all these options in hope of bringing in a little bit of money on the side, because that always helps, doesn't it? So that seemed to fit in well, timing wise, with easing off the training and getting the little Airbnb up and running. I'll put some links down below to the pages where you can see what we're doing on Instagram, but give it a look, it might be something you fancy. Anyway, we are 9.6 miles in. McDonald's is 400 metres ahead. I may also have to check my rear tyre while I'm here. So I think I potentially have another slow puncture. Oh my God, I'm plagued with them at the moment. It's unbelievable. Quick coffee, quick muffin, bike's over there. 10 minutes, peace and quiet before heading for home.
Come on, let's finish our food and then we go home. You don't want to start your holiday hungry. Yeah, because you're feeling set.
Well, that was nice. Coffee, berry muffin. I don't think I've got a puncture, so we might just get away with it. But heading for home now, 10 miles to go. Just got to negotiate this horrible path on 28mm tyres without making my tyre any worse. But what a beautiful evening. I'm glad I came out. It was raining when I started, but I had faith in the sunshine. What a nice night for it. Well, as I head for home, what are the plans going forward from here? Well, it's the end of July now. I want to get the Airbnb up and available for rent from the end of August, which is fast approaching, but we're well on track. Hopefully start to get some bookings coming in whilst I'm training for Valencia Marathon in December. And then in May next year, May 2026, I've actually won a place in a trail race around here. It's a Bog Hoppers Holy Trails event. They've got a marathon a 50k and a 50 miler. Haven't chosen my distance yet, but I've got a free entry in one of those distances. My plan was always to switch to ultras after I've finally admitted I'm not going to get that sub 3 hour marathon, and I think I can admit that now. So Valencia will be my 25th marathon in 25 years, and then we switch our attention not only to ultras but also to long bike rides. I want to do some nice ultra bike rides. Part of what we're offering at the Airbnb will be guided rides, anything up to 100 milers we want to do. So I need to be bike fit, so I figured training for some long bike rides would be a really good idea. Dunwich Dynamo I've done a few times. Obviously with the Ironman training I've done a few 100 milers. But there's some nice long distance bike ride events out there. Things like the Great British Escapade, that sort of thing. I want to get involved in some of those. So next year is less focus on speed, more focus on endurance and distance. I tell you what, this specialised S-Works Venge is insanely comfortable and feels fantastic. I'm in love with this bike. I guess the last thing I need to cover is bikes. I love bikes. I love buying bikes, riding bikes, tinkering with bikes, retro modding bikes, i.e. putting new parts on old bikes. I'm just obsessed by bikes. You'll see lots of videos on my channel about building old bikes, buying new ones, swapping bits over. It's an absolute passion of mine. I love old rallies. I've got quite a few videos of old titanium rallies. I've got a nice old Vitus 979 full Dura Ace from the late 80s. Have a look at that. But loads of content on there about bikes. Have a look at some old videos. But mostly I'm just thankful to all of the subscribers, those who comment regularly. I really appreciate you. Those new ones, I appreciate you subscribing to my channel. For many reasons I like to document what I'm doing on videos on YouTube. Partly to help with my self-esteem, my self-confidence, my mental health. I suffer in lots of ways, but getting out, outdoors, running, cycling, swimming, always helps with mental health. And it helps me, it has done for many years. So I love getting out what I'm doing, and I like to think if I can encourage someone else out to explore the world of endurance sports, running, triathlon, long distance cycling, whatever, then I'm happy. If someone's inspired by that, then that makes me very happy. I like to think, you know, I'm not very fast, but I'm pretty proud of what I'm doing and how hard I work to stay fit in my mid-50s, in the hope that I can carry on for many, many more years to come. There's lots of places I've not explored yet, but I would like to as the years go by, and hopefully with the old schoolhouse I'll help lots of other people come and explore the beautiful counties of Norfolk and Suffolk. I'm a couple of miles from home, just ticked over the hour in total, just under 18 miles, trying to keep it relatively sensible, although working too hard. I need to get fitter. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here, but to all those existing subscribers and all the new ones, just tell me what sort of thing you prefer. Cycling videos, bike builds, running, house renovation, paddleboarding, open water swimming. Tell me what you prefer, because I like to post everything, but if I get an idea of what you guys like, I can focus more on that. But so far, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bit of a catch up. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.